Hi, it's Anne from the Useless Crafter. So I'm getting so close to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and so I want to revisit what started me on this journey and then try to look at the process again and see where I can improve. In my mind, I've already had a couple of process improvements, which is basically what my professional career used to be as basically an in-house process design consultant for a major bank. And I would go into a process and analyze what they do and make suggestions on how things can improve. So carrying that on into my crafting world, my jam is off the mat. But since I've been doing since I've had so many orders and doing this online, I have come up with my own process improvements. So let's get started. We're going to go back to the basics. So go over to images. We're going back to the Cricut Cutie. So let's type in Cricut Cutie. Sorry. And let's see if I can do this. All right. We can do one of these. And I can't remember which one I did at first, but I feel like it wasn't. Let's do this little guy, okay? Insert images and go to height and make it 30 inches. Go over to this screen over here and reduce it to 25% just so that we're not scrolling like crazy. And just looking at this, knowing that we're doing 11 by 11 measurements for the cardstock, which is basically a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, this is going to require 2 rows, right? Probably splitting down like kind of the middle. And going this way, we're going to need 3 rows, or 3 rows, 2 columns, okay? So where you want to slice this is just keep in mind where the black is, right? It's probably likely we're going to have to slice somewhere through the mouth. And it's okay because I have a process improvement for you. The other thing that I would want to add is this one, the feet are already flat, but I was thinking that we can extend this a little bit and make it a really stable piece to stand on a table propped up against a wall, because most of these are really for the cake table party decor. So those are my 2 process improvement steps, okay? All right, so let's get started. Let's bring in let's ungroup this. And we're gonna have to slice the green and the black background, or the gray background in this case. Yeah. Okay, so we'll move that over. And let's just bring in our squares. So when you grab your square, go to your sizing and do 11 by 11. And then just start it over here, duplicate. Okay, so you have your 2 squares. What you want to do is select this first square, go up to your position feature, and just round to the nearest whole number. So this 8.8, I'm going to make 9, and it's already at 8, so I'm good. Just going to tap through it. So basically, I'm saying on the x coordinate, go over to 9 and go down 8, and that's the beginning of this square, and that's what this 9 and 8 basically says. When you go over to the next square to make it flushed with the first one, if you put it close enough, you don't have to do the math. You can just round to the nearest whole number. So in this case, it'll be 20 and 8, but you can also do the math. If this is at 9 plus 11, then this needs to be 20. Okay. All right. Select both squares and duplicate. So that way we don't have to make them flushed with each other. We just need to make it flushed with the top row. So again, if you put this close enough, then you don't need to do any math. Just round to the nearest whole number. So that will be 9, and this will be 19. And then duplicate again, and let's get this bottom. And that will be 9 and 30. And then grab all 6 squares. I don't think we need it. And again, you know, like I do all my videos on the fly. Let's just duplicate this in case we need it for the green. I'm not really sure how I want to handle the green just yet. So we'll move all 6 over there so we don't need to do it again if we choose to go down that path. All right, Cricut Buddy, go over here, select him, and go to Arrange, Send to the Front. And here he is. So, you know, when you're slicing this, the main thing for me is I don't want any loose pieces hanging out by itself. So for instance, just imagine if we had another column right here. I don't want this where you would slice it and this little piece of the antenna needs to be taped to the rest of it, right? We want 6 big pieces in this case. Like you don't want this down here and slice because this little antenna right here, you're going to need to tape it on and it's just going to draw attention to the piece and you don't want to do that. So you want to move this up enough so that this whole antenna and this piece is one. Yeah, basically we're just looking for no loose pieces. And in this case, I think we're good. We can only slice 2 items at one time, so it's going to be 1 square and the image at one time. So if you look at how I pull my cursor, I'm grabbing just enough of the square, just enough the image, and then I let go and go to slice. You don't need to grab any more than that to start slicing. And then we're just going to make our way all the way around. And you can see where we're slicing. This is going to be a seam right here. And we'll slice there. And we're almost done slicing. All right. Now you can bring this over, send to the front. So he sits like this, right? And it kind of gives you an idea of where the seams are going to be. There's going to be a seam right here, and there's going to be seams in the eyes, right? So you're thinking, well, no, some of this will be covered. Maybe. Let's bring these things to the front. Sorry, let me grab all this stuff. Sit to the front. So there's seams all over this eye, right? You see what I'm talking about? And maybe not so much the mouth. Oh, that seam is also open. And it's totally okay because I'm going to show you something. All right, we sliced everything, right? But what I want to do now is I actually want to slice out the eyes and the mouth because I'm basically, just imagine this, okay? So this is over. We're going to bring in a gray piece that fits just like this and put it on top. It's small, and yet it's going to get rid of our seams. No one will know better that there's a seam coming down here. I'm also going to do it with the eyes. So the eyes, the seams is just going to be right here. This will have one solid gray piece. This is how we're going to do it. So let's go to shapes, get a square. And I hope I'm not losing anybody. And I don't know why it took me so long to figure out this step. I've been doing it for a while. I just kept it from you. But I haven't been doing it forever. So, all right. So I made the square big enough to cover the eyes and the mouth, right? I'm going to slice. And I probably should have made a copy. Hold on. Let me undo. This is what happens when you do things on the fly. Let me undo it again. And let's make a copy of this green guy. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate it. And let's just move him over. Okay, now let's slice, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, okay? So let's slice. And let's remove this. We don't need this. What we need is this piece right here. Let's remove this and this. Okay, what I want are basically these eyes and this mouth, okay? So I want this in 3 separate pieces. So I'm gonna make 3 copies of this. So I need, this is already 1. Here's my 2nd and my 3rd. And I'm gonna go to contour. Stick with me, it's gonna work. I have, and let's delete everything that we don't want, okay? So we don't want this, this, or this, or this, or this. What we're left with, hold on, I still have these. There. And now we have this piece. Sorry, I need to hold. Okay, so we're contouring each piece out. So here's the 2nd piece, hit contour. And you can hide all. That's what I should have done the first time. Let's keep this eye. We don't need this one. So here's our 2nd eye. And then let's get this mouth. So contour, hide all, select the mouth, and then deselect this one. All right, so here we go. So if you remember, we had this before, right? I mean, some things we're not going to be able to hide the seams. Sorry, my mouse is crazy right now. Right around here. So now just keep in mind, so this eye goes over here and it's going to be the same gray as our background. So let's change that color. So to the average person looking at this, they won't realize what we just did, right? This just looks like the background now. Oops, let's make these 2 things gray also. All right, so oops, let's move this mouth in, right? So we're basically getting rid of the seams where we can. So, like I said, some things are just unavoidable. When you're making it that big, we're gonna have some seams. So here we go. So now our seams are just at the edges, right? Like a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And then the eyes will look, let's send this to the front just so that you can see what it looks like. The eyes will look seamless, right? As well as the mouth. Send to the front. Okay, so now you have that seamless. The arms, arrange, send to the front. Okay, the arms will hide the seams up here. I mean, we could have done maybe a better job by moving this whole piece up a little bit, and then the seams would have been maybe down here. Minor, it's minor, and then there's a seam here. So you can see the big distractions were the mouth, and then the eyes had a lot of seams, right? But by doing this, we're now limiting the seams to just a little bit at the edges. Okay, so that's one thing. Let's go and let's, for this, let's go to, we want to isolate each one individually. So we have 3 items, we need 3 copies. So that's our 3 copies. Go to contour, we're going to contour each one at a time. So let's hide all, and it's going to keep the top one right there, so that's fine. Go to the 2nd image, contour. Hide all, we want this one and we don't want this one. I always get confused there. Okay, there we go. And then now we want the last one. So let's contour, hide all, we want this one, we don't want this one. And now our 3 are all separate. So when we go to cut it on the mat, the reason why I did that is so that you can really make this efficient and take up this much room on a black piece of cardstock. Okay, so that's done. Same thing with the whites. I mean, you could leave it. Oh, no, you can't because it's 12.5. So we have to separate these two. I would just duplicate and then contour. And basically, let's make this smaller. And we don't want this one or this one. So we're left with the left eye. That's this. And then now we want the right eye, contour. Make it smaller. If someone can tell me how Cricut decides how big this is, I've seen it like 23% to 650%. I don't know how they do that. Okay, here's our other eye. All right, so we're just moving along. Same thing with this one, right? Duplicate, contour. We don't want this piece. So there's one. Go to the second one, and we don't want this piece. There. So now they're separated, and you can cut it on your Cricut. Okay, so all we have left, I think, is this green piece. All right. Couple lessons that I've learned. Lighter colors are harder to hide the seams. You're just going to see it. If you use glitter cardstock, it's better. Dark glitter cardstock is best. So in this case, I would probably do a dark green. I would slice where it's super thin. Like I would slice right across here. And let's see, how tall is he? He's tall. And he's also wide. So we're actually going to need to cut this way and this way. Yeah, we're going to need to cut him. So let's bring him over here. Let's see, where is it? I almost feel like I want to slice him here. And there's really no good place to slice him like in his body. It's just going to show. So I think we're going to slice this a little bit at a time. So like I want to slice him right there. So it's a little bit down here and a little bit right here. But that's going to cut the eye. So let me move him over. There, I think that's good. So let's slice that. So that's going to be so thin, you're not even going to notice it. Okay, so let's slice. So this one is a little bit higher, so let's move him down a little bit to right there. That's pretty good. Okay, so here's our second piece. So you can see wherever we're slicing, it's pretty thin. Like that's super thin. This is where we're just going to run into issues. There's nothing good happening here. We could actually maybe slice him right here so that this body is all one piece. I like that idea. All right, so there's that body. And now we have the face. Maybe actually like right here, it's kind of thin and a little bit thin there. I think that's about as good as it's going to get. So let's do that. All right, so basically, I mean, see, that's thin, that's thin. This is as good as it's going to get. And here, if you really wanted to, you could just put a crease here, like an actual crease, instead of putting it right next to each other. His head is separated with, You could do that. All right. The other piece that I wanted to do is this is the solid background, right? I forgot to do it earlier. Let's move these things out of the way. I wanted to make a little base for him, right? So this is what we're going to do. Let's bring in a square. And this is so that he can stand well. All right. So let's unlock this so that we can make it thin and wide. Like so. And I'm trying to think. Do we want him sliced exactly in the same place? Does it matter? Or would it... Sorry, I'm thinking. I think in this one it won't matter so much because it's just a thin piece running all the way across and over. So I would do it like so. I would slice it so it's sliced in the same place. It's easy to line up that way, okay? So now we have basically like this. Oops, undo. I want to show you what we have and why I did that. All right. So I think I need to move this up a little bit more. Let's move both of these up together and just inch it up. There. So now it's all touching. What I would do is, okay, good. I would take, why does it look uneven? Okay, hold on. I don't know what happened there. I'm going to grab those two and I'm going to align it bottom. There. I don't know what happened. Okay. I grabbed both of them. Let's move it up a little bit more. There. And so now what I'm doing is I'm going to grab these two and I'm going to weld. And I'm going to grab these two and weld. Did it work? I didn't weld it. Okay. So you can see now he's going to be way stable. He's going to have like a little stand and it's flat. He was already flat. His feet were already flat. But, you know, sometimes if you have a princess, it's rounded a little bit like so. You can make it flat and so that it lays flat. You just want to make sure that these two pieces, though, are the same color as your background. So let's go up here, make it this gray. All right, now let's get rid of all the stuff we don't need. So that would include this. Delete all that. Let's grab these pieces and just move it down. I do like to keep them in place so that I don't need to think about it later, like which piece goes where. Let's grab all of this, delete that. Let's delete all of this over here. So as a recap, let me try to move this one over a little bit more. This is basically what he's going to look like, exactly like this, okay? Let's move this to the back. Why didn't it let me do that? There. Arrange. Didn't let me send to the back. Okay. Let me move everything else to the front. How about that? Arrange, send to front. So what we have is we have this piece like this. So you'll see all the seams right now. This is exactly what it's going to look like when you piece it together. These are all your cut pieces. And that's a little bit low there. So you'll see exactly where your seams are going to be and where your problem spots are, right? Now, what I was saying earlier is you can make him like this with an intentional little line through it. I don't think it's that bad. Or you can make him flushed. It depends on what it looks like when you cut it, okay? Because like the arms are separated and in real life, arms aren't separated. So if you choose to do that, it won't look like a seam, it will just look like an intentional break. All right, we're covering up the seams here like so. This will be all, oh, I see, it's not all lined up. This should fit when we cut it. It should fit the full circle. There we go. And it should hide the seams completely. All right, let's go grab all of these things. And you can see he has a stand, which I don't think looks bad. Let's bring all this to the front. It's kind of funny. I've never done it this way, but this gives you a real idea of where your seams are going to be and where your problem spots are going to be. So you're going to have a seam here. I don't love that idea. I had to rethink that. Maybe you make that. Maybe we cut it less next time. Like make it a 11.5 length so that you don't have to slice it. So you're going to have this slice right here and a little bit right here. But other than that, for making him 30 inches, he's going to look pretty flawless, especially with a dark green glitter. All right, so now let's see. Why is this too big? Is that this piece. For whatever reason, it's not counting this piece by itself. So let's go to contour and see if there's anything. Let's get rid of this. There must be a little dot somewhere. All right, there we go. All right, so now we're done with this. Let's go to make it, and I'm going to show you how to organize your mat a little bit. Obviously, we don't need 2 mats for this one. I like to just go here and do 12 by 24 and just get them on the same mat and still end up using a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock and a 12 by 12 mat. Okay, so there's one. Let's look at our gray pieces. So put those together. We can definitely consolidate here. Let's move this to another mat. So you select it, click on the 3 dots, move to another mat. I feel as if it can fit somewhere else. At the very least, let's see if it fits here. Oh wow, it's a big eye. It actually doesn't fit. Okay, let's move him back to another one, move to another mat. And let's move in with his buddy. There, those 2 fit. Okay, so our grays are done. I wonder if, I feel like this piece can go somewhere else. So let's select it, move it to another mat. I feel like he could fit here. Is that delusional? Yeah, it is. Let me see. Wow, that was really bad. Click on that, move to another mat. I feel like there is another mat that maybe it could fit. Could it fit here? I don't know what I'm thinking. Let's see. Yeah. You'll move back to the, oh my gosh. It's like, go home, you're drunk. Put him back in his own mat. Sorry. Okay, that is what it is. We did save one sheet, 2 sheets so far. One white, one gray by consolidating the 2 circles. Okay, this black is Crazy Town. We can definitely move that together. Move this one over to the other one with the eyes. And depending on what piece you have left over, you can have something like this. Okay, here's our green. We have that. I feel like we can definitely mess around with this. So this piece can fit over here. So let's move that. There's still room. I just don't think that there's anything else that can fit. I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to move this guy. Move to another mat. Let's see. I know it's why. Why do I do this to myself? Because I feel like, can this piece fit anywhere? I know now I'm like wasting so much time, but let's just see. Can we do that? This guy is a problem. Let me move my face over. Really? You don't fit anywhere? Yeah, you're a problem. But that fits there. So that means I only need to find a room for this one. So let's move this one to another mat. And I see a good spot for it. Let's move you here. There's plenty of room for you here. Let's go back to the other mat. Move this one up here. So, we saved 2 sheets of green cardstock. I feel like, yeah, that's a win. So overall, we saved 3. So you're down to 14 sheets for a 30-inch piece. Not bad. And it's going to look pretty good. So hopefully that was helpful. These are a couple things that I will be implementing in future videos. And, am I back? Sorry. I'm going to be incorporating these steps into my future pieces. And so you'll be able to see it. And then I'll also put together a video of assembling it. So you can see how the eye pieces go in, the mouth pieces. I've done it in the past post video where I was looking at it and thought, this would look amazing if I just had a little black piece in there. Which I'm trying to think if I have one. I don't. I was going to show you one that I had behind me. But all right, I am constantly going to try to look for ways to make it look seamless. But right now, I feel like it is as seamless as possible. So until next time, keep me posted. I'll talk to you later. Happy Thanksgiving. It's the day before. So it is 2019, November 27th. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.